Hi everyone, Sailor Moon here, Serena here, Sailor Earth, Ernest here, and today we're going to talk about, a setting, or a tool, I guess, which is on Google Android, or most likely it's on Apple iOS as well. It's called Talkback. Now, the Talkback tool, in belief, because we're under a belief that it is made for the blind, I guess, to help them work Google Android or Apple iOS, or at least work their WISESPEAKER. Now, here is the bind for Talkback for anyone who has to work Talkback or anyone who gets into Talkback by mistake. First off, you never know how to get into it until it always seems to be, at least for us, for the two times that it happened, it seems to be just out of a mistake or out of luck. The first time this ever happened was like months ago when we wanted to make a film. Well, we already made the film. We wanted to upload the film. And while we were going to hit the upload, somehow, someway, Google Android then fought, and its wisdom, it fought, that we want to talk back on. Now, keep in mind, when it shows up, it doesn't give you the thing to get out of it. It just asks you, do you want it on? It isn't like it gives you a yes or no. You see, that's the thing. If Talkback does come on, before it should tell you yes or no, do you want this on? It should give you that. And if you hit no, then it should just go away and be the end of it. But no, we get into this tool by mistake, and at first you think all Talkback would do was just talk back to you and tell you all the things you're doing. And you're thinking, fine, who cares? Your WISESPEAKER talks back to you, big deal. Well, here is the kicker. Here's the big flaw in this Talkback tool, is that it makes the WISESPEAKER hard to work. It makes everything that you could smoothly do, it makes it harder, for it. It makes it harder for, you to work the WISESPEAKER. And you might think, how can a tool that would help someone blind to work their WISESPEAKER handicap them as well as handicap anyone who can see? Because it makes it where you can't go on your WISESPEAKER right. It makes it where everything you want to do, it's hard to do. Like, if you would say you want to go on a Euro tool. It'll just say, going on Euro tool. But you think all it would do is just tell you what you're doing and let you do it. No, it doesn't. It just keeps talking back to you and telling you all the shit that you're doing. And if you want to get to do anything, you got to press down for a long time. Now, many folks who have WISESPEAKERs might think, oh, you just got to wipe it off. No, Talkback makes it unworkable. It makes it where you got to press down for a long time to do something that you really shouldn't have to press down hard to do without it being on. So, yeah, it makes it like you want to go into Google or Chrome, which, well, I guess are about the same on Google and Android, I guess. Or you want to make a call. Or you want to give a tide. Or or give an inner wire. Or whatever, take a likeness, film. Whatever you're going to do with your WISESPEAKER, go on the interweb. It will make it hard to do. And it isn't like that you can get out of Talkback smoothly. Yeah, you're right, Sailor Moon. You're right, Serena. Talkback is a tool that was just flawed when it comes to being on a WISESPEAKER. you would think that if you got into it, you could smoothly get out of it. And the truth is, you cannot smoothly get out of it. You know, you got to fuck around and tap on everything. You know, you do everything you think you do. You shut it down, you shut it down, you start up again, or you start it over. But sadly, none of that seems to work. Then you're going around tapping on shit while it talks back to you, but doesn't let you do anything. And then when you do get out of the talk back tool, it like makes you work for it. You know, it's almost if there is this no forgiveness. You get into this tool and you're handicapped, you know. So how are folks who are blind, you know, how is this tool going to be helpful to them if it doesn't let them do anything with the WISESPEAKER? What? Is that what they do? They press down for a long time to do shit, you know. I don't know. It just feels like an unneeded handicap for anyone who either gets into the toll by mistake or shifts the toll on because they truly need the toll to be on. You know? Why is it that businesses that can make these tolls for reckoners don't seem to have a bind, but when they make them for WISESPEAKERs, they can't make them work right? And that wasn't, and keep in mind, that was the first time we got into it. Not too long ago, we got into it by mistake again. We wanted to make the WISESPEAKER louder, and somehow Google Android thought, oh, you want Talkback on? I don't know what makes it do it, as if it thinks there are certain things that you do that it thinks that Talkback would help you with. And so we want to make the WISESPEAKER louder, so we hit on it. Next thing you know, Talkback shows its ugly leer again. And it doesn't take yes or no for an answer, and you're stuck in it. So it was rounds and rounds of fucking with it. When I mean, you're tapping, you're clicking, whatever. You know, get out of it. It makes your WISESPEAKER just unworkable. And it makes folks think that somehow you fucked your WISESPEAKER up. You know? Because that's what it looks like. And if someone's helping you get out of it, they're going to be irked and angered. And they're going to think, hey, well, how did you get into this flawed tool? And you tell them, well, all I want to do is just make the loudness loud. And they don't believe you because they're like, it cannot be something that's smooth. Well, it is. So we had to go in and take out the tool which Screen Reader and Talkback and all those other tools ran off of. Oh, the tools are still there. We just took that tool off, so now they can't run without that tool in there for them to run, if that makes any thought. Yeah, it was. You're right, Sailor Earth. You're right, Ernest. I mean, don't get me wrong. Having a tool that helps the deaf or the blind work, you know, WISESPEAKER, whatever WISESPEAKER it happens to be, is a good thing. But when you handicap them, when they're already handicapped, or when you handicap anyone who's working it, even if they're blind or not, deaf or not, or whatever the grounds need be, that's kind of sad, you know. And when you have it set up so badly that you gotta fight it or wrestle it to get out of it, no, that's bad. That's set up bad too. You know, that is. So anyway, just keep away from Talkback or Screen Reader or whatever they call it on Apple iOS. Because on Google Android, they call it Talkback. They call it the Screen Reader. And if you think that, and I just want to know, why is it hard to work? Why do they be so sneaky? Why does it show up at times when you don't want it to? I mean, we had this WISESPEAKER for at least 1, 2, close to be 3 years. And why did it show its ugly leer those first 2 times? All right, we'll see you all later.